everyone. It's so nice to be back on set. I trust that you've had a great month. I have had a great month myself, doing what I love to do, and that is to help people find out how to have good relationships, not only with others, but also with themselves. So today I have a great show prepared for you as we continue looking at self-awareness, because we want to live our lives by design. So welcome to Live by Design with Grace Kariuki. Last time, we started talking about self-awareness, and self-awareness is the process of thinking about your own life, getting in touch with who you are. Today, I want to go a little bit further, and we want to talk about childhood experiences and how they have shaped who we are today. So think about it this way. When a baby is born, they do not know how to live in this world. So the people who nurture the baby, the mother, the father, or even if it's another caregiver, they are the ones who actually help them to develop their world view. The environment in which they grow up, they develop their world view. And so today I want to take you on a journey of figuring out what your nurturing was like and how that has affected your world view, the way that you relate with yourself, the way that you relate with your higher power, and the way that you relate with other people in general. And so stay tuned, because this is going to change the way that you see yourself. It's going to give you a roadmap on how you can now change your life to make your life be the way that you want it to be, the happiness you have always wanted to have, the freedom, the joy, and the contentment and fulfillment that you always want in your life. And it seems like it's elusive. Picture this. I am 6 years old. Like any other child, I expect that my mom and my dad will encourage and they are going to cheer me on to become the young lady that I desire to become. And so I loved theater, I loved to sing, I loved to act. And in one of those experiences, I was acting in a church play with other children in my Sunday school class, and I did a great job as being Jesus in the story of the temptations of Jesus. And so after the whole performance, a lot of people from the church were very impressed. They come over to me and they said what a great job I did. And among those people was my uncle. My uncle used to live with us. And so when we got home, he said, "Oh, you did a great job, and I want to record that song that you sang." And so he got his his recorder, and we were sitting outside, and I am excitedly singing, and then my father came along, and he said, "Hey, you guys, what are you doing?" And my uncle excitedly said, "Oh, I'm recording her. You know, she has such a beautiful voice. She's such a great actress, and I just wanted to record her voice." And my father just kind of said, "Oh," and walked away. And that really discouraged me. It caused me to think, oh, my father doesn't think I did a good job. Everybody is excited about my talent, but my father just dismissed it. And from that moment on, I felt like my father did not think I was good enough. I felt like he didn't think that I had value, and I personalized the message that his behavior sent to me. Now, do I think that my father really intended to send that message to me? No, I don't think that's the message he wanted me to get, but that is the way I experienced him, because I had an expectation that he was going to cheer me on, and he was going to say what a great young lady I was, and that I would do great in life. So that is part of my experience with my father, that I never got that kind of encouragement and cheerleading and telling me you can be whatever you want to be. And let me ask you, haven't you felt like that in any time in your life? Maybe you come home and you had an A, and then your parent just looks at it and says, "But why didn't you have an A+?" And you feel discouraged, and you feel that you can never measure up to what they want you to be. So fast forward, when you become an adult, you begin to think that you have to prove yourself for people to accept you. Your self-worth is hit. Your self-confidence is hit. And so you are always struggling. You're always struggling, trying to prove that you are good at what you do. And this is the other thing. Even when you are good, because you see that the truth of the matter is practice makes perfect. So you sing more, you do more things, and you become good at those things. Unfortunately, because you believe you're not good enough, even when people tell you you have done a great job, you don't believe them. You struggle with self-esteem issues. You struggle with self-confidence. You don't believe that you are the things that other people see in you. Why? Because when you were growing up, the template that was set for your life told you that you're not good enough. You have to work harder and harder to prove, and you can never reach this bar of perfection that you keep trying to reach to. So I'm here to tell you today that you need to understand that if you struggle with self-worth, you struggle with self-confidence, low self-esteem, I hear these things every day in my work, I need you to go back to the years between 0 and 10 and begin to take stock of the experiences you had with your caregivers. That could be your mom, could be your dad, it could be an older sibling that you looked up to, it could be a teacher, it could be a pastor, it could be a relative that you looked up to, or even people in the community that are leaders. I will tell you also, when you go through experiences where you feel that, that you haven't reached, you're not good enough, what happens is that you have a problem also with people in authority in your life, so that now you're always on defense mode. Another thing that happens to us is that we begin to feel like people are looking for the wrong in us to tell us, and so we defend ourselves. We are too argumentative, we are too aggressive, or we are just passive aggressive. We don't speak, we feel timid, and that is why we need to do this self-awareness, so that we can be able to understand where this template has come from, and we begin to resolve those issues, because you are no longer a young lady, you are a small girl, you are no longer a young boy that needs this kind of nurturing. You've grown and you have become who you are. You need to be able to see who you are today in the reality of it, not under the eyes of when you were a child, when you experienced what you did. So thank you for staying with me, and we will continue on with this process. But today, before I leave, I need to give you some homework, right? I need to give you something to do. So take a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to write for me any childhood experiences that you know for yourself, they impacted you in a negative way. See you next time.